Hello, hello. Good day, everyone. This is your Nestor Aprecio. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The topic for today is undertaking. What is an undertaking? In Canadian law, it is contained in sections 12, 13, and 14. Section 12 being family reunification, and 13 would be uh, the definition of undertaking itself, and section 14 would be the regulation. Before we can proceed, we need to discuss what's the meaning of family in the Canadian law framework. So the family can be heterosexual. We're going to limit ourselves into spouse relationship. We're not taking into consideration dependents, parents, and grandparents for now. Okay, so what is family? Family can be heterosexual, it can be the same sex. Manner or form, it can be married, civil, or religious uh, union. So now, um, what is a common law relationship? It can be common law when you have a spouse. It can be only common law. Why common law only? They're accepted in Canada, unlike in any other countries. Common law is not accepted. So Canadian law accepts common law union. What is common law? Common law, if you can actually uh, show that you have interdependence in all aspects of your life, specifically financially, emotionally, economically, any interdependence, you can show that you have all these dependents, then you can be considered common law in Canada. So, how about conjugal relationship? In some countries, same sex marriage is not allowed. This is where, and even being in a, unlike common law, you can stay in one house, um, get a lease agreement, whether you are heterosexual or same sex, it doesn't matter. But in conjugal relationship, as long as you can show, this is for countries that does not allow even common law relationship for same sex. If you can show that it is very hard to prove common law, or that you're living in one house, or that there's interdependence, but uh, Canada actually knows the inner workings of certain countries, then you can still be considered conjugal relationship, as long as you can show papers that you are not allowed to do this and that. Uh, Unlike in other countries where common law is allowed, even heterosexual relationship, I mean homosexual relationships. So with regards to our topic, undertaking, uh, what is an undertaking? This is a financial, this is a document where the parties, the spouse, uh, the sponsored, and the sponsor from Canada, and the sponsored outside of Canada, you have a binding agreement, and you submit this to immigration. So what is that binding agreement? What does it entail? It entails that based on the current situation, you're only uh, is responsible for your spouse for the next 3 years, unlike before, which is longer than that. So in October of 2017, the limitation changed, and it was reduced to 3 years. It used to be 10 years. And then what does it entail? It, that from the time that your spouse is has or has become a permanent resident, then you are responsible financially for um, all that this sponsored individual is going to incur in Canada. Even if there is breakdown in the marriage, you cannot back out from that undertaking. And so, what happens if this person, the sponsored, there is a breakdown, and then uh, the sponsored have asked for um, monetary assistance from the government in the next 3 years from the time that that person is PR, let's say now is May 15, the next 3 years, May 15, 2020 up to 21, 22, 23. So May 2020, May 15, 2023, you're responsible for anything that this sponsored person has incurred, or maybe they will go into social assistance, then that is your responsibility as the sponsor. That is the meaning and the essence of an undertaking. So, a lot of people asked if uh, you can, like, marriage fraud, in short, marriage fraud, where people just pay the other guy, the other person, some amount of money, even up to 10,000 to s- to to do this marriage fraud, make it genuine and anything, make it appear genuine and anything. No, do not do these things, because in the end, one, it's a misrepresentation of material facts, and you are liable to be deported when immigration finds out. And then, secondly, for this sponsor, you are responsible for that sponsored person for the next 3 years. So the sponsored person can access money from the government through various means. So do not do this. It's very important that you, if you're want to marry, marry for the right reason. If you are sponsoring somebody, make sure that it's not just for convenience, that it is genuine, and the the marriage can last at least 3 years legally for Canada. So otherwise, you will be responsible for that particular person for the next 3 years. Aside from what we're discussing, like if you would like to sponsor parents, this is an aside because I have said that we're gonna limit to just the spouse. Like maybe you're thinking about, oh, how long is my parents? There are cases that even the relationship with the parents broke down, then you are in for 2 decades or 20 years to be responsible for that particular person. Um, and in other relatives, usually for minors up to the age of 22, and for the rest of your relative which you want to sponsor up to the age, I mean, 10 years. But I don't think we have any other relatives other than the dependents, as well as parents and grandparents, unlike before that we like but like other relatives are eligible to come as a sponsored. But in the event like a solitary sponsorship, when you're all alone here in Canada, you're actually are eligible to sponsor any relative back home or anywhere in the world. So that's the only thing. You, if you sponsor somebody, and you're alone here in Canada, no relatives, no other permanent resident relatives, no other citizens relative, then you're eligible to do that, and that undertaking would last 10 years. So, uh, words of wisdom: if you're not sure to sponsor someone, don't. Then, because you are going to be um, under duress to do it financially for them. If it is not genuine, then don't do it. Thank you. See you on my next blog. Thank you.